am a Night Rider.
You're terrible, Muriel.
Talk to me.
You gonna do that pogo?
You've been talking to the cop. Today is a brand new day.
No, that's it. It's the vibe.
G'day, fellow Aussie film lovers, and welcome to another episode of Under Southern Screens, the most vaguely mythology-related Australian cinema podcast. I'm Mitch.
And I'm Matthew, and we're back, question mark. I like the way you did a classic Aussie intonation where it's up at the end of a sentence when you're not actually proposing a question.
I like all my statements to be questions. It's called...
messing with the other person in basic conversation. That's what
exactly
it's called.
what I was thinking. I was going to say being free, but I forgot the word free. So
free. I remember back in my, this is Matt Law, in my years in acting school, I had an English acting teacher who actually got really annoyed when we would do that, when we would finish a sentence on a high, when it wasn't a question.
I see what you're saying. I did it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I did it wrong.
When you bring attention to it, it's like the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's a subconscious thing that Aussies do, and like no other culture in Australia does it.
In Australia or the world?
What's the movie we're watching today, Mitch?
Well, today we're issuing another spoiler warning.
Yes.
It's classic Under Southern Screens formula. We issue a spoiler warning.
Yes, the tradition at this point, yes.
For the 2019 film The Furies.
Not the Furries. I must stress.
Not the furries.
Not the Furries. I had to ask before I watched this.
You had to check. Is there actually an Australian film called The Furries?
Let me check right now. No, there is no Australian film or any film for that matter called The Furries. At least
so you're telling me there's a gap in the market?
Just when I think they'll make a movie just for me, we're out of luck.
Yeah, because you're stuck with your FNAF films.
Screen Australia, you know what to do, mate.
Yeah.
Get out that development funding ASAP.
Make another Nicolas Cage FNAF ripoff, but this time do it Australian.
Yes. Oh my god.
We don't need to talk about this. We don't need to talk about
The Furies, mate.
The Furies.
What made you choose this film this week? I need to know.
Well, I wanted to watch a fun, gory, messy time. I'd seen this before when I was 19. I bought the Blu-ray.
Yes, okay, cool.
Because I support film.
Good boy.
And I remember really enjoying this, but we'll see if my opinions have changed.
That's it. We'll take a little journey, mate.
We can track where my values lie as a film enjoyer when I was younger versus now.
It's an interesting thought experiment, mate. It's like going back to Austin Powers as an adult. Like, is it as funny as you remember?
Probably not.
Is an elongated pissing scene for 2 minutes as funny as you remember?
Probably not, bro.
Is The Furies as good as you remember?
Let me hit you with my little intro I have here.
Oh, yes. Go for it, lad.
In a patriarchal world run by horrible men who exploit women and their bodies for both profit and pleasure, enjoy a movie centered on watching a bunch of young women die in the middle of nowhere. Not only that, but they get killed by a bunch of faceless men whose main character trait is having a mask and no morals. Follow Kayla, an epileptic woman who loves following the rules, and her rule-breaking friend, whose name doesn't matter because she's in the movie for 2 seconds as they try to survive a round of The Deadliest Game.
Ooh.
In the filmic equivalent of mashing two types of genre together, the Battle Royale, a la the Japanese film Battle Royale and the Hunger Games, and the slasher, such as Friday the 13th and Halloween, come together for you to enjoy all your characters being annoying as crap, or actually not being characters at all.
Damn.
8 women called beauties are linked to 8 masked murderers called beasts. If the linked beauty dies, the masked murderer dies too. So it's a race to see how many beauties the beasts can kill as well as protecting their own. But that isn't really played up like that, and the people just kind of run around killing each other. But don't worry, Kayla's epilepsy was actually just a shine masquerading as a debilitating illness, and she can hook into the ocular implants all the contestants in this sick game have, except only the ones the killers have. So she can see through their eyes and use that to find her friend, and then also use it to watch her friend die.
Oh no.
And then she rips out her own eyeball because she's based like that. But don't worry, there was also sequel bait.
There was.
They didn't make it. But it's cool that they thought that they would.
Hey, mate, everyone's got a dream.
Yeah.
What can I say? The Furies 2, let's make it happen,
The
guys.
Furries 2. The extra R denotes that it's like Ghostbusters 2, like the ghost is holding up the 2,
yeah.
but it's 2 R's. It's furries.
It's like holding up a sign with like an R sign, you know.
No, I don't know what I was thinking when I watched this when I was younger. This movie's a bit doggy doo-doo.
It's such a... Now, I don't want to judge Mitchell Hale's movie taste at 20 years old. but like it's such a random pick. Were you going through like a horror thing back in the day? Like how did you come across it?
Just kind of whatever looked interesting in the JB Hi-Fi Blu-ray section.
Oh hell yeah, brother! I do frequent the JB Hi-Fi Bluray section once.
That's
gonna
be a rare treat going forward. They're getting rid of all their Blu-rays. And
are they really?
They're straight up like they're dropping stocks and stuff. Yeah, like I mean, stuff isn't coming out here. Like physical media is not coming out here.
Jesus, why would you go to JB Hi-Fi otherwise? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, some people like music, apparently. I don't know who they are. And I guess iPhones. You can buy an iPhone there, I think.
Okay, right.
But yeah, so I watched this and I was like, oh, this is kind of campy, kind of fun. It's a bunch of people killing each other. Some of these kills are kind of cool. But I've since watched a lot more slashers. I've watched a lot more horror.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot more movies in general.
He's widened his palette.
And this is kind of lackluster in a lot of areas. I know films like these, the characters aren't really the important part, but if you think about it, they kind of are actually, because some of the most iconic characters of all time have come from horror films. I'm talking Ellen Ripley from Alien. I'm talking Laurie Strode from Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm talking any number of camp counselors in the Friday the 13th movies. Joking.
Reference. We'll get into it later, but I just have no experience with slasher movies at all.
That's fair. I'm a big slasher fan.
You said a thing and I said it with a weird intonation, so I'm guessing it was a joke. So,
The problem with this movie is that all the women characters that you're supposed to be rooting for are annoying as balls. They're as annoying as balls.
Yeah.
I understand that in this situation, I too would be screaming, probably, and also being scared. But I'm not in this situation, and I'm watching people be in this situation, so I don't want to watch that. Also, that Rose character, was it Rose? The homeschooled character?
The young girl who looks about like 25.
Yeah, she's like 25, but she acts like a 13-year-old.
Yes.
Infuriating character. Even before she turns evil, in quotation mark. Honestly, her turning evil was the best thing that character could have done.
Mitch, I'm holding my tongue, brother. I have much to say.
Pop off.
I think that it's just, and I'm sorry to get on like the whole feminism high horse or whatever, but it's just it's such a slap to the face to make a allegedly pro-women movie, like a whole like the premise is like, oh, the women are fighting back in this battle royale game, but then just make them the most surface level.
The movie starts with one of the characters writing the patriarchy.
Yeah, it's just so basic milk toast.
It's like, yeah, good job, guys. You really like made some subversive characters on this one.
You got him there, bro. It's like,
good job, 50-year-old white male who wrote this. Well done.
Well, legit,
good job.
Yeah, who also directed this movie as well. It makes me want to roll my eyes as soon as I see it, because there are movies that have done this way better. And again, as you say, as someone who's not really into the slasher genre, into horror movies, because quite frankly, they're a little bit scary for little Matt.
Bit spooky.
I can't get into it because the characters, either they don't have a character and they just die after 2 minutes with no fanfare, or it is just the most basic motivation, lackluster character because, oh, we got to get to the next actiony moment, which is signaled only by action music playing with no real sort of threat whatsoever.
The music in this, so I had a look at the review I wrote back in the day, because I had Letterboxd back then. I've had Letterboxd for ages, and even back then I wrote something along the lines of, the music's kind of insane for what's going on the screen. Even back then I could recognize that, but the music really is going kind of whack wild on this one, and
it's
then it's
very
just like
Star Wars prequels, like it's like popping off for no reason.
But it's just a bunch of dudes walking through a hangar, where in this case it's just a bunch of people walking through a mining town. Also, mining town reference, most Australian thing ever.
Going to the quarry, mate. I worked in the bloody mines for 18 hours.
Yeah.
Honestly, real.
So apparently they filmed it around Canberra.
Love a good ACT movie.
And the historic mining village of Bawong in New South Wales.
I want to belong as well.
Me too, man. Me too. I actually knew someone who worked on the film. I knew someone whose mum worked on the film.
Oh, sick. Okay, we're tangentially related to this production. Maybe I should say some nicer things about it, which there are some things I actually do like about this film. But anyway.
I'm sure they don't care.
What do they do? Do you know?
I think they were either a producer or I think they were like semi-high up in the whole hierarchy of it all.
This is actually my favorite movie we've seen for behind us on the screens. Can you get me some development funding real quick?
I don't think they listen to the podcast. I mean, the main character eventually locks in, and like, I'll give her this. Like, the epileptic stuff is like, oh, it's a bit spooky because when's it going to happen? It could happen when she's in a moment of dire straits or whatever, but they never really use it that way.
Yeah.
It's never actually really used as a point of tension, except for right at the end. And also, like, why is it called the Furies? Is it just because it's women killing people? Like, there's no actual relation to...
It's pretty loose.
There's a bigger relation to, like, a Disney movie in this, because they got the Beauty and the Beast thing going, but they don't really, like, touch into the mythology stuff at all that they implied was going to,
it feels like they read a Greek mythology textbook and were like, that, go for it. I don't know, man. It's just, if you're going to write disability into your movie, I think it's got to have more of a payoff. Like, a great example of this is Bring Her Back, that Aussie horror film where one of the lead characters is blind, and that actually plays into unlocking the mystery and the distrust and the doubt between her and the other characters in the story.
Yeah.
Like, it actually progresses the story forward, as opposed to here where it is a hindrance sometimes.
Like, maybe, but then also it's like a superpower as well, because she can unlock her brain, and using the, I don't know, the Wi-Fi network can travel her ocular nerve through one eye ocular implant into another.
What?
I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I
wonder if her
it.
ocular eye has NordVPN.
This episode is sponsored by NordVPN.
That's it. Please,
if you are
us,
going out into public places,
if you are in an Aussie battle royale in the ACT,
the idea of slasher villains who are forced to actually team up with their quarries is actually a really interesting idea, but that's not what happens in this at all. Like, there's no point.
They're just sort of figures, you know what I mean? There's no relation, at least from my perspective of watching the film.
And I mean, like, she kills the one that she's attached to, which, in all honesty, rightfully so. He did murder a couple other women. He's the one who cuts off that second woman's face, right?
Which was a sick kill. I loved that.
Look, some of the effects are pretty good in this.
That's my favorite part of the movie, actually, is just the amount of practical effects, but then also just the kills in particular. Someone who has not seen a slasher in a little while.
Well, that's the thing.
Like, you know, it's probably basic as hell in the wider slasher atmosphere, but I thought it was really cool.
Some of them were fun. I think there wasn't enough, though. You get a couple, and then there's not a lot. You get that part where you get to watch a woman pull out her own eye, though, from the back. That's pretty fun.
Hell yeah, brother.
I really enjoyed that part. That was really cool.
And as someone whose major, like, icky ew thing is eye shit.
Oh, it's eye stuff?
Yeah, that hit me.
It's a common ick. A lot of people don't have it, so I feel like they were playing it safe by doing eye stuff. I think she's lucky that they didn't put it behind both eyes, honestly.
It's true.
Which is what I was thinking. Is like, how do you not know?
Yeah, true. They used the wrong eye.
How do you know it's the same eye every single time?
It's like naming sheep or whatever, and you put 4 when there's actually 3. It's like they just did it on this one woman just to, like, psych them out, and now she's blind, baby.
You don't know, but it's just...
Mitch is face palming as we're explaining this.
I don't understand why they didn't play further into this idea that the beauties and the beasts had to work together. That's the hook of the film, is that you're immune from one of the killers because if they kill you, they die.
That wasn't even that apparent to me when watching it, to be honest with you.
I think the back of the Blu-ray explains it. I don't think I've seen any online thing saying that, though.
That's the thing too, like, when you watch it blind, you sort of just dropped in.
It's not explained very well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just it's not really explained well. And again, movies don't have to explain things like I'm a little baby or whatever, but, you know, just some context would be nice. We start the movie in this forest and she gets saved by another slasher creature, but then we cut to them in the city or whatever, and it's her getting captured. Does that scene come back from the start of the movie?
No,
later?
I think that was a previous round, in quotation mark.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the end of the movie when Rose won, they say take the winner and prepare her for the next round or something.
Oh,
so
right, okay.
I think the idea is that they just keep doing iterations. So this is my thing, and I didn't realize this the first time. I must have not realized this the first time I watched it because I was an idiot.
No, you just watched over the movie. Do you know what I mean? You ingest it like I've ingested it this time.
This is something I should have picked. There's no explanation why it's occurring.
Yeah.
I figure it must be they wanted to do in the sequel because at the end, the final thing we get is her breaking into some guy's house who was watching the footage of one of the bad guys.
Yes.
Like one of the kills we saw earlier, the face cut off kill.
And he's a rich man because he has has a Ferrari out the front,
Yeah.
and the license plate says Ferrari.
Does it really?
Did you see that?
I didn't even notice that. That's actually hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I pick up small things like that.
I didn't even notice that. But we also know he's rich because his house like does things when he talks to it.
House, make me a sandwich.
Was the house's voice a female voice as well? That'd be interesting, like thematic wise, if it was.
Yeah, interesting little decision there.
But too bad this movie isn't deep.
Poor filmmakers. I'm sorry, filmmakers of this movie. You know.
So she breaks into the house and she tortures him for information about who else was involved in these Hunger Games, but via Halloween.
Aussie Fortnite.
The Hunger Fortnite.
Yeah, the Hunger Fortnite.
The Hungry Night.
Aussie Hungry Fortnite.
Hungry.
I think that's our episode title right
Aussie
there.
Hungry Fortnite. I have to remember that when I upload.
Beautiful.
She tortures him and then she's seeing the ghost. It's not actually a ghost. It's probably just her being insane, of her dead friend who does like these palm reading things that they used to use to communicate with each other. Point is, the film is setting up a sequel where she goes off and murders all the people involved with this game, which does sound interesting, but you have to give us something. Like, the film has to be
like, the whole conflict is let's get out of this game, but we don't actually understand what the game is until like the last 5 minutes of the movie when she goes after this man.
But even then, we don't actually. Is it just for entertainment? Is it just entertainment?
Yeah.
He said these playbacks are garbage.
There's no he didn't say like, oh, that's not making me any revenue. Or like,
well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
No...
It's like these playbacks are garbage. He didn't say another line where it's like the customers or the viewers won't enjoy this or something like that. He just says the playbacks are garbage. Like, so like, were you doing research?
Just give me freaking anything.
Yeah.
How can I sell my energy drink now? You know, just like something like that. How can I
feel like there's a lot more women in the world than there are bloodthirsty killers. So I just don't understand, like, are they making the bloodthirsty killers too? Like, are they taking men and then like mutating the crap out of them or something? Or is it actually just as an epidemic of slash men in this world as well, like slasher killers, which is an interesting concept.
It's people that watch the manosphere. They're the people that are the slashers. They just turn into grotesque husks.
It's just the Tate brothers, and yeah exactly.
They see a strong, independent woman, and they're like, "I got her to kill." One
of my favorite parts of the movie, something good, is that part when they're in the actual town section itself, and she kills one of the killers by like screwing that twisty thing in, and then another killer walks in and sees her doing that, and they just scream at him, and he runs away.
It's like, shit.
Yeah, no, the way he moves was pretty funny.
He's like, I'm out. I'm not dealing with this. Get me out of here.
It's just
interesting.
Is interesting the word we want to go with?
Through watching all these movies for this podcast and through my own experiences, I understand how difficult it is to get a movie up in this country, which is why I feel sort of bad dogging on this little underdog movie. Do you know what I mean? Because again, I think that the idea has potential. I think that the kills, as someone who hasn't really seen much slasher movies, I think they're pretty sick, to be honest, especially that first one where he like rips the face off with the axe. That was pretty gnarly. I think it's cool that it's shot in Australia. I think that it's interesting that it doesn't really have much Australianness in it, but it's just set in Australia, which is something I think is an interesting little subgenre of our nation's cinema. But you just gotta, if you're gonna swing like this and make something high concept, you gotta go all the way with it in movie one. Do you know what I mean? You can't just dilly-dally and then pray for a sequel, because as we know, look, where is it?
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think my issue is that I know less than you, but I still know how hard it is to make something.
When it comes to screenwriting, you're way better than me. Just wanted to say that for the record.
Thank you.
Man studies screenwriting. He's a way better screenwriter than I could ever be.
It's my one skill.
No.
We're moving on. Let me be self-deprecating.
I love you, Mitch.
I love you too. Thank you.
Thanks,
I think my issue is that I think the letterboxing was insane, but I can get over that. It was just really thin, right? Like I wasn't going insane on that one.
They were using like 1.6 anamorphics, which is not familiar.
It was really whack. I thought my iPad wasn't working.
For me, the biggest thing that I hated, and it's not a Matt movie prejudice, but like it's getting close, is just how desaturated the movie is.
Yeah, that was also, I was going to suggest that too. Like, I don't like how I don't like the color grading of this either. It's shot competently.
Yeah, I agree. I do.
The acting isn't horrible. I think,
especially from our lead, I think
she kind of sells the movie more than I think the movie kind of deserves. I'm unhappy that I haven't seen her in more stuff. I'm sure she maybe is in more stuff. I just haven't seen her around. But I would like to see her in more things. I think my gripe is with the script itself.
Yeah,
I think the plotting and the events that occur, it wasn't compelling.
It's a shame with high concept stuff because you get into the lore, you get into the repercussions, you get into the potential for sequels, but you gotta hit the ground running with some real heat. Do you know what I mean?
You gotta let the audience walk away and feel like they got a complete story, even if you want to tell more. Lord of the Rings, right? You get a complete narrative in the first film, even though you know there's 2 more movies, and it leaves it massively open for the sequels to occur.
And you get the world building. You
get
get
the
that
world
lore.
building. You get a lot of character work. You're invested in the characters, so when they set up for their journeys going forward, you're more interested. Whereas in this, it's kind of like, I don't know what Kayla's deal is, except that she didn't want to break rules, and now she breaks rules.
And she was living a suburban life with a...
Oh, yeah, and she was going to go to uni. So she's what, like 19, 18
yeah,
maybe?
I guess so. And now she's thrust into this atmosphere. And again, that's where sort of the problematic aspects of it come out, because it's like, one part of me is like, are they trying to do the narrative of like, let's see what a dumb Gen Z woke person would do in this life or death situation?
I didn't even get that read from it, but okay.
I don't know. That's sort of how it read to me, at least,
Sure.
especially when it's only women that are in the events, and it's only the main characters start with the pulp, patriarchy, graffiti thing, and it's just eye roll for me, at least. But
the only part of the friendship we see between her and the friend that she's looking for from the whole movie is just her friend being a complete twat to her. So her friend goes, you need to break more rules, and then the main character Kayla goes, I don't like breaking rules. It's hard for me because I have epilepsy. The friend goes, oh my god, you and your epilepsy, always moaning about it, always complaining, always being a little dick about it. Can you like just not be like
epileptic?
It's like, are you serious right now?
Yeah, interesting.
Where's
call.
the empathy here? Like, this is your friend, dude. Like, why are you treating her this way?
And then they leave, and she gets kidnapped, and then
they both get kidnapped, and they don't see each other till the part of the film where the friend's throat then gets cut because Rose is an insane person.
What do you think of that character trend? I guess it's a big twist, right? That Rose becomes the villain.
So I'd forgotten a lot what happens in this movie.
It's okay. I'd never seen it either.
I figured the friend wouldn't survive just because that's how these movies usually work.
Okay.
But I completely forgot about Rose, and I forgot about how the movie ended. Rose is just an insane character, and not in a good way.
No disrespect to the actor who is playing it exactly as written.
I think she's done a perfect job at doing what she was told to do. I don't think what she was told to do was correct, though, and that's not her fault. I think, once again, the script is irritating.
My favorite line was, I'm not scared, I'm Rose.
Yeah, oh my god.
I thought that was really funny.
It's this weird, like, not dichotomy, but like this weird back and forth between her being an absolute idiot and completely incapable of doing anything herself and being a complete and utter waste of space.
Little NPC, yeah.
An NPC, exactly. Like someone to be protected, but then also just having these moments of like recognizing epileptic fits and putting 2 and 2 together about which beast was coming towards them, so then killing the friend.
Yeah.
And like, what is this character? Like, what are you trying to say? Just like homeschooled people are nuts? Like, what is going on? I mean, they are, but like, not like this.
Mate, bringing out the bold claims here. I think it's just
Come at me, homeschooled people. No, JK, you go. I'm gonna love you. You're great.
But yeah, like it just feels like she's written to be dumb when the script needs her to be dumb. Do you know what I mean? And it's just so unnuanced. And I guess there's the whole character trait of her not wanting to be alone and being abandoned and stuff and coddled, I guess, is the motivation behind that. It's compelling, but it just, again, it comes up when the script needs it to come up, and it isn't natural. You know, it doesn't flow.
Maybe what they were trying to go for with her was that she was worried that her friend Kayla was going to abandon her now that she found her new friend.
Yeah.
So she killed her. But it doesn't come out that way. It just comes out as her thinking she's doing the right thing to survive this encounter with one of the beasts.
Weird and wackadoo.
So if she'd killed the friend in a situation that wasn't like that, like maybe they went to sleep and then woke up and found the friend dead or something like that, and it's like, oh, one of the beasts might have got it, but then like, why didn't one of the beasts get one of us as well? Like, why'd they only take, stuff like that, like
building that distrust,
like like an enemy within type thing as well, because then they try something like that with the blonde lady whose name I don't remember, but she just gets mulched immediately.
I think Sheena or something like that.
Sheena, that's a very Australian name.
Yeah.
Sheena,
Sheena, mate, you want to go listen to some Daryl Braithwaite? I don't know. That was a reference.
It's like there's interesting storytelling that could have been done through this. Like there's interesting because it's not even that. Were you spooked? You're not a horror guy, right? Like
I wasn't too spooked. I thought the only times I felt like ooh icky was like when the eye stuff was happening, but that wasn't even spooks. It was just
that's
sort
just
of like
ooh icky. Yeah.
yeah, ooh icky. Slashers don't necessarily have to be horror, right? But
No, they don't have to inherently be, but they have to be tense though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Either you have to have created a bunch of really horrible characters that you're excited to see get murdered, which these guys aren't. It just feels mean when they're murdered. Or you create a bunch of likable characters because you know what movie they're in. Some of them have to die and you don't want them to.
And that's the more effective option, I would
That's a better
say.
look. I enjoy a movie where I want all the people to suck and I'm happy for them to die. But I also I like both. I like both versions, and this is neither.
Yeah, especially when the movie was like starting and people were just dying left and right. Kayla would meet someone and then you'd think, okay, this is the sidekick throughout the movie, and then they die.
Yeah.
And then like 2 minutes later there'd be another person that comes in, and it would happen like 3 or 4 times, and it's just at that point it just becomes muddled in my opinion. But what would I know? What would I know, man?
What would we know?
There's something I just want to bring up like as like a thing throughout this podcast. It's been an interesting relationship with me critiquing media because like I'm not the biggest fan of like being like this movie that hundreds of people poured money, blood, sweat and tears into sucked, especially because like I'm like in that industry and stuff. So it's an interesting relationship that I have to criticism on this podcast.
Brothers Brother Chris stuck him in it.
Oh my god, yeah, we're only going to review good Australian movies. No, I don't know, man. It's just something I've been wrestling with.
I agree, because there's like a part of me that doesn't really want to rag on a film, even though I've spent this whole podcast, this whole episode ragging on this movie. I think, you know, maybe rough, maybe I shouldn't have, but
I guess if the movie permits it, you know.
We haven't just said the movie sucks. We've discussed like what we think worked well.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's helpful for us as creatives to pick apart things and see what does and doesn't work. I think it's helpful for other people out there to hear the thoughts and opinions that they might not even agree with.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that we're not correct.
Yeah.
This is our opinion.
This is the most subjective podcast of all time.
Anything about art is subjective. I hold the belief that there is a level of objectivity in certain things, but overall it is subjective. I don't know. We're trying to create a product here as well. We're trying to be interesting. We're trying to be engaging.
Movie guys. Yeah, I get you. We
often are pretty positive, and I think we've been decently positive about this movie too.
Yeah, you know, in some ways. Yeah.
It's important to show that there's some failings in here, that it went for something about social change that I don't think it did a very good job of doing. And I think it shows that we need more perspectives in the film industry to make something like this with probably like the touch of someone who's not a white straight male. You've done more than I've ever done with a film.
Genuinely,
so you can hold that over us.
I hold no ill will over this movie. And look, I think in terms of its messaging, I think it's not offensive. I think you could say a lot worse things in a movie. You know what I mean?
Say a lot worse things and you could do it a lot more poorly. I think you needed another few goes on that script. I think you had a really good idea, but damn, tighten that script up and figure out what was interesting about this idea a little bit more, I think.
And make it funny as well. Add some funniness. Add a few jokes and funny.
Yeah, make it funny. This is really dire.
If I was ever to make a slasher movie, I would have just one character that would be like the whole, you believe this shit guy? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, like a Marvel film?
No, not even quippy, but just like a guy that like critiques and BS's their way through the whole movie and doesn't
has clearly
die.
never seen Scream.
Yeah, I haven't actually.
You should watch Scream. You'd enjoy Scream from the sounds of it.
Yeah, one day.
Can I give my top Australian thing of all time in this
film? Mitchell. What's the most Australian thing about the Furies?
The Furies. I think the most Australian thing about the Furies is that there is a mining town that got turned into a tourist attraction and it has Eureka in its name.
That's it. Get on that Sovereign Hill train.
Sovereign Hill. Yeah, it's Eureka Creek, I think was what this town was called.
Eureka Creek, mate. Can we do a field trip to Sovereign Hill, please?
Wait, you want us to go to Sovereign Hill?
Yes.
Is there a movie about that blockade? What's it called? The Eureka Blockade?
Stockade or whatever?
Stockade, not blockade.
Let me look it up.
There's surely a movie about that.
There's one from 1949.
Also, let's watch that and go to Sovereign Hill.
It's a British film, according to Wikipedia, so we can't.
No, it's about us, though. We can talk about it.
Very, very true.
Matt, where can they find us to tell us that our negative opinions were incorrect.
Yeah, well, you can give us hate mail at Threads, Instagram, and you can watch our TikToks. I don't know if your TikTok has a messaging feature.
They can message us. They can message us on it.
Give it a bloody crack. That's all I'll say.
See if you can have a go.
See if it works.
Yeah.
See if you can handle it,
See
mate.
if it bloody works, eh?
At Under Southern Screens Pod. But then if you don't know how to use the TikTok messaging feature, give us an email at undersouthernscreenspod@gmail.com.
Fantastic. And also,
Tony Aquino, please don't send us hate mail. You're doing all right. You're doing okay.
Like, I've seen a lot worse movies, dude, but damn.
We'll probably watch a lot worse for this podcast.
We probably will too, yeah. We would love it if you would leave a review and perhaps even a 5-star rating if you
think it's worth it, mate.
If you think it's worth it. If you don't think it's worth it, leave nothing. But
yeah, we'd really appreciate your 5-star patronage, mate.
Really enjoy that if you gave my serotonin would be very happy.
My endorphins would be lifted, mate.
Wait, is serotonin the thing that sends you to sleep?
Yeah, we don't know much, but we know.
I'm not looking it up. What's the movie for next week?
The movie for next week of Under Southern Screens.
For next week. Greatest movie.
Very topical impression.
Open the canal. Gonna bomb Iran.
No. Very, very topical.
Very topical. 1 month ago.
What a gross man. The movie for next week. We're going back into modern Australian cinema town. We are watching the 2026 Netflix film Apex, starring Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton.
I was going to say we should watch that.
It's been on my Instagram feed.
Yeah, it's legit. On the feed. Yeah,
it's on
I've been getting it a lot.
I love how every reel is can you believe that Eggsy from Kingsman is doing an Aussie accent? And it's not even that good, to be honest with you.
I've heard it. I think I have opinions, but I shall wait to watch the full thing before, and also the actual episode before I give
him a little teaser, mate. What do you reckon? Give him the scoop.
I'm gonna be real. It was a really quick cut together.
Yeah, it was socialified or whatever.
Yeah, it was a socialified version. It was something.
It was something.
It was character. It was a character. That's for sure.
And if you want to find out what character, tune in next week for the Apex movie
2026
on Netflix. Bars. I think it's time to end. Mitch,
yeah, we need to cut this out.
End the podcast right now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
And keep an eye on them Southern Screens. Thanks for listening to another episode of Under Southern Screens. We'll be back next week to talk more films down under. We just want to attribute that our opening title is Heavy Duty by Zoo, and our closing title is Heavyweight by Fell Creek. Thanks so much for listening, and Mitch and I will see you in the next episode. See you next time. Under Southern Screens would like to acknowledge the stolen lands on which this podcast is recorded and produced, and pay tribute to the Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation and Camaragal people of the Eora Nation.
Sovereignty was never ceded, and we pay respect to all Indigenous elders past, present, and emerging. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.